Good morning, everybody. Quick video for the Avanti, however they say it. I went ahead, I'm going to start with the wings. I'm just going to kind of follow the instructions they have on their website, see how that goes. Kind of read through them a little bit. I may make some changes to it just to kind of help guys out, and then I'll post it on my Facebook page, just so people can have like a kind of a corrected version. There's a couple little things out of order, well, not out of order, just look like they just kind of skipped over. The first thing I did, I went ahead and took the gear out of the wing. One, I wanted to look at it. Two, I always take things out and check all the bolts, make sure everything's tight. I initially was planning to go all electric with this jet. Electric gear, electric doors, and electric brakes, because it's such a simple design. But you know, after I pulled everything out, and the gear is just so nice, and due to the fact that I'd have to get new wheels because none of the electric brake systems will work with these wheels. I would have gotten new wheels for the brakes, and obviously electric motors for the gears. So I was looking at $400 for the, well, I only had to do the mains onto the nose, so $300 is what they were showing for this size wheel for 115 millimeters, which is what their wheel is, and the brake disc was like $300 and almost $400 without the controller. And then for the gear themselves, looking at, I think I was going to go with the either the electrons, because somebody mentioned they were drop fit, or the Bowtech, however you say it, Bowtech. And they're about, total package, it would probably, oops, sorry about that. Total package would probably been over $1,000 for everything, just to convert it to electric. And I'm not going to be completely out of the air anyways, because my F-14 is going to be air, so I'm still going to have the air equipment. So I figured just go with the stock setup, run air, and if I start having any problems with it, I'll just swap them out then. Something I can do later on. It's an easy fit, because brakes, like I said, I was hoping I could use this brake disc, you know, with well, I'm sorry, I was hoping I could just get a brake system to use with these wheels, but none of them look like they'll work, so I'd have to do the brakes too. If I could just get away with just using, because what I could have done is do like Down Lock does, just get the motors and retrofit them to this gear. So then the only thing I would have to swap out was the brake drum and the air cylinder. But that's not going to happen, so you know, I could send them to Down Locked. That's going to cost me with their sequencer about $800, and they don't have the electric brakes yet, so there would have been another 300, and I think it was like 380. So you're looking at $1,100, you know, when it's all said and done. And no need. We'll give it a whirl, see how it goes. Like I said, their gear, I really like their gear. These things work with a can of air really well, so I'm guessing they'll work pretty good with when the air system's up and running. For anybody that's interested, the brake drum is 73 millimeters in diameter. Phone is blowing up this morning. The relatives are coming in town to visit. Been sitting on my butt a lot since I got back from Afghanistan. But the wheels are 115 millimeter. The brake disc is a pretty nice system. couple pads in there, and they push against the inside, against the back of the wall. It's not the expanding type brake, it's the push. So most of the electric brakes you saw, they have a plate that I would have had to bolt it into this wheel, drilled and tapped, and it just not gonna work. So keep things easy, keep it simple. I'll just go with the stock setup. The only thing about it is I told Skymaster not to put any air cylinders on the gear on the nose doors because I was going to go electric. So I may just throw 2 small little servos in there, 2 micro, like the High-Tech has some little small metal geared servos, little micro guys. I might use those for the gear doors, or I may just throw 2 air cylinders in there. So easy fix. The mounts are in there, the horns, the control arms on the doors are there. So and I've got some Robart 2-way valves that I'm going to use. I'm not a fan of the electronic valves because it's just something that can burn out. I mean, I know a servo can burn out, but it's very rare that you see a servo burn out. In fact, I've never had one burn out. And I've been, shoot, 28 years. So, ooh, knock on wood. But yeah, so I'm gonna start with the wing. Gonna flap servo, aileron servo. I'm gonna run a S90 9074 SB, roughly 277 ounces of torque. Not as much as I'd like to have, you know, but I have those servos. I'm gonna put the 172s on the elevators and rudder, and 175s on the thrust vectoring, because they're all going to be 7.4 volts. The wing, because these are only 6 volt, 6.6 volt servos, I'm going to run them on that. So plus I want to get rid of them instead of having to use them in something else. So the S-Bus, the Robi S, the Futaba Robi S-Bus battery backer has a data logger in it, which is just an SD card. So first couple flights I'll check the data, make sure I'm not drawing, make sure the elevators and ailerons aren't working too hard. If they're fine, I'll leave them. Worst case, I put some more servos in there, but I think they'll be fine. Flaps, you know, it's a big flap, but it's just pulling. It's not like it's having to work. It's just a quick jolt to bring it down and push it back up. Ailerons, they're not moving as much so we'll see. But I'm gonna get back to it. Start getting the servos installed. Maybe get some cuts for the servo arms. The only thing that's going to be kind of rough is servo goes, the flap servo goes in here, so you gotta kind of measure and cut your slot for the servo arm in the bottom of the wing. Install your servo horn or your control horn for the flap in there. The aileron, everything's already in there, typical blocks. This one might be a little bit hard to get to because it's kind of under the lip, so I may have to trim that a little bit to get the holes drilled. But looks like the typical L brackets that you put for the servo, and then cut the hole in the hatch for the servo arm, 4 screws, and then of course the aileron control horn. So hopefully the wood blocks are in there. They were having an issue with that, but it was brought up, so maybe they addressed it, because I'd have to come in from the end here. Ooh, hey, look at that. Looks like they went back and did it. It's hard to see, but there's a cutout, a cutout in the end here where they repainted. Yep, both ends. So they probably put the blocks in there for me. Good deal. Good thing about Skymaster, man, they seem to, you know, they really care. I guess they do good testing. They listen to people for the most part and implement the changes as needed. So good thing. But anyways, you guys have a good morning. I'm gonna get back to it and do some more videos. Peace.